Welcome to the morning meeting, building Jomboy Media. My name's Jimmy. Maddie is here. Let's see. We got a bunch of topics. Here's the agenda. We had to cancel the breakdown and not post it. We have the Blitzball Blitz going on. Some changes around the company. Why we didn't do an episode last week. In-office changes. Kind of just like rerouting some stuff. Jomboy Media Football is a go and has been starting. I did play-by-play for a Little League stream. A bunch of other stuff. Blitzball Blitz. Day 2 is tomorrow, live on the Warehouse Games channel. Day 1 was a success. The broadcast went really smooth. It was a 2-hour broadcast, 3 really fun games, a lot of moving parts, and I'm excited for Day 2. Jake and I need to get a win, which I don't know. I think we just might be awful these days. That's sad. So tune in, Warehouse Games YouTube channel. Even if you're not interested in the teams in the game, just tune in to be impressed with a bunch of young up-and-starters in the media world pulling off a 2-hour broadcast with 20 cameras and 20 people or something like that. And also, tickets are still on sale if you do want to come meet us and watch us live at Billy's in the Bronx, where we will be playing our games inside the bar. And you guys will be the crowd and watching, and a bunch of other content and fun stuff happening. So tickets are on sale, shop.jomboymedia.com. To that intro that I did was a lie. It was a big lie. I faked all the energy.
Oh, yeah.
I can't keep my eyes open. They're like heavy, like dumbbell weights, and I'm so tired. So I'm not lying anymore. Now I'm being honest with everyone. You can't have a tired intro. It's been a big 2 weeks. It's been a big 2 weeks at the company. We didn't do morning last week. Meetings as we try to get the company back into gear, make some changes. Today's schedule was looking like crazy with meetings and recordings, and I had to do 4 breakdowns in between, so I had to like cancel and move stuff around. Also, I have 2 young kids. I have a 2-year-old and a 2.5-month-year-old. 2-month-year-old? What the fuck? That's not how you would say that. So I'm just extra tired. You're going to have to feed me the topics today. I am so tired and brain dead. Maddie has good topics. They're actually, it's a very like insightful episode of behind the scenes at the company. There's a lot of stuff and changes that are happening that, you know, I was talking with Courtney on the drive home yesterday, and we're like, how much should I share on morning? How much shouldn't I? And she was like, well, just share. I don't know.
Well, that's good. Well,
usually pretty open here. We just tried to save a lot of it for the employees to hear first. One of the reviews was like, I don't like that I hear stuff about the company on morning that I don't hear first.
Yeah.
So we had some big changes coming, and I made sure that the employees heard them from us a couple times first before talking about them here.
Yeah, can you speak to all of these meetings and the changes? First, can you just lay out, when we refer to these in-office changes, what that alludes to, what that entails, and why we made those decisions?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because we're changing. We had a hybrid policy, and it was COVID based, and we thought the office was going to fill up really quickly and be like not enough space for people. So we had a 3-day-a-week hybrid policy. You had to be in the office 3 days a week and not in the office. You could work from home 2 days a week. And now we're changing it to the status quo is in the office 5 days a week. You can work from home with manager's approval. And people that have earned trust and are really good workers, and they ask their manager, like, hey, I have isolated work today. Can I work from home? Blah, blah, blah. Like, we're going to prove it. Like, the goal is to get back to a place, which we were year and a half ago, like when you started your first year, where we had full trust that everyone was going to be pulling their weight, whether they were in the office or at home. We weren't strict on it at all. Funny enough, back then, most people came in every day.
Yeah, I mean, when I started, it was COVID times. I think I was once a week, Mondays, and then, yeah, right after that, like, ramped up to wanting to be in all the time.
Yeah. Jake, Courtney, myself, summer hit pretty hard to the point and it got like blatant, and it stems from top down. Like, it was our fault when we look back at it. But what basically started happening was we had really hard workers doing a ton, and then we had people doing maybe a tenth of what the top people were doing, which isn't fair. We also, when we got the new office and we started hiring, we prioritized a good atmosphere for employees way more than prioritizing the company. Like, we prioritized like work from home, good plans, don't overload, work with them. Now, we've been bad at transparency the whole time.
Yes.
Because all of our managers are also like doers, so we haven't had time to like stop, have meetings, like be transparent with like, this is working, this isn't working. That we've failed on that end, but we set up everything to kind of like take care of the employees, which in turn did not take care of the company. There's a middle ground we have to find, and the company just has been coasting, comfy for the last 6 months or so. Like, we have no ambition to be first, to be fastest, to grind.
We want that ambition, and we've lost it, is what you mean by that.
Well, yeah, we used to be. Everyone was like very hungry. It almost felt like people, like we got to the point where like, oh, we're good. This is where we need to be, and then we just stay here and make it work. And it was like, it's like, no, like, you gotta be like, well, this is a company that, like, when I talked to the office the other day, I said like most of our managers started at $15 an hour and like got like growth. Like, I want, and I've always wanted a company that is like just growth opportunity and loyalty and hiring from within and promoting. And it worked when we had a bunch of people that were hungry to do that and keep going. And that just feels like it's not there. Like, we've had people leave early on Friday, come in late on Monday, and then then miss a deadline Monday. That's crazy. And after a while, it's like, hey, we're at fault for setting up this type of culture. We need to get back to setting up like real, hey, this is a job. Some people in the anonymous like concerns said, I don't want it to feel corporate. And to me, it feels corporate as shit right now with people working quote unquote 9 to 5 and then not taking on any work afterwards. Where before, all of our first 20 employees or so, it was the grind, working all the time, every time, I'm in it. It was, we never had like, no, I can't do it, I'm off. And we're not trying to work people to the ground at all. Trying to find a balance. But it's just that like, that hunger and all that. So we're trying to figure that out. One of the main problems is the office is loud and unproductive. So we're putting in not a seating chart, but organizing the spaces. So like this is where the social team will sit. This is where the sales team will sit. This is where production will sit. And then the editors have quiet rooms. So mine and Jake's office is no longer our office. It's an editor's bay. We have another editor's bay for the warehouse team that's worked out well. So we're just trying to get some structure. We're going to do quiet hours from like 1:30 to 4, which mostly is for me, Jake, Joe's, the content people who like come out of the podcast. Not just, but like we come. Like, I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying this unaware that I am a major contributor to the distractions in the office. And I can't play gong ball. I have to wait till after 4 now. If you get your work done by 4 and you want to have fun the last hour of the day with us, like that's where I hope that we earn it. But yeah, I don't know. We've been struggling with deadlines. Like there's nobody that wants to like get ahead to like not miss. We just have like departments that just miss deadlines over and over and over again. And because we've been so like lax, I think they don't realize how much we are getting not hurt, but like frustrated by it. And then that's our fault as managers to be like, we have to let you know right away. Like, hey, actually, this is pissing us off. Like, this is bad. This is like, you can't continue to do this. So at the top, we have been way too lax. And that's where Jake, Courtney, myself, and all the leaders have kind of been aligned. Like, we need to take care of the company and make sure that we continue, like, we're still hungry to move and grow.
Yeah, and I think it's important to say, because this is public facing and we have the context. When we say all of this stuff, oh, it's vital for us to keep growing this and that. That's genuinely just the growth aspect of it, as any startup company should have. We're not sitting here financially pinching every penny and
No, yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with that, really.
yes.
We have too much inventory for our sales team to sell right now. But
Yeah.
that's what I've told the content team. I always want to outrun the sales team. I always want to make their job like easy in the fact that they have a ton of to sell, but tough that they're never going to be able to
Sell it all.
To sell it all. Like that's our job, is to get good enough good content that they can't sell it all. So yeah, it doesn't have to do with that. We're hiring more sellers and salespeople to bolster the back end of the business. So yeah, it's not chasing revenue, and that's not what this is. This is like chasing the energy and the vibe that we used to have that I don't think we have anymore. I think everyone got a little comfy. Me too. Like I lost the like race and the hunger and the be first of it all for a while, and I'm trying to get back into it, but it's hard because we just had like 4 meetings a day for an hour each day, and I can't work from home anymore. But so that's some of the changes that we're making, and I hope it works. And if not, then we'll have to make changes and find people that like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. To be frank, we had some people complaining about commute times, which like it's a Manhattan office. The only way you're going to have an under 45-minute commute is if you live on the island. We counted. Everyone has like a commute. That's kind of like what you have when you take the job. But I counted how many employees moved from a different state to work for us. So it's unfair to them. I had 10 people that moved from California, from Arizona, from Florida, from Maryland, from Denver, because they love what we're doing, they believe in it, and they're awesome, and they're like, and then you have people saying, it's an hour commute. I don't know. So at the end of the day, in a very earnest way, like, hey, we were hiring, and in that span, we were hiring under a hybrid system, and if that was one of the main reasons you took the job, and that's really crucial to your life-work balance, we're offering to work with those employees, like no hard feelings, on a transition plan, or on ease that. I don't know if anyone's going to take us up on it, but to pay out for a while you look for another job and help you with recommendations and call people that we know or other places if that's what you need. We just can't work like that. We can't have people that, some people were prioritizing. They were start their week and it was, which day should I work from home? And then that sucks because we have so much communication issues that everyone also is in their review is like, we have cross-department communication issues, which is true. But that's because everyone's remote. No one uses the managers. They try to just like go everywhere. Like, I don't know. We just need to reorganize everything so it's easier and better. We're getting much better. Like in the first week of this, we have seen crazy improvements from the people that have bought in. And when I gave that speech the other day to let people know, like, hey, this is what we're doing. We're not doing this lightly. This is like a decision that we stand by, that we believe in, and this is what we want the company to be. I want to promote you. I can't promote you if you don't even want to be here. I want to hire people that want to be promoted, that want to learn more. That's always my goal for all employees, is that whether you leave here on your own or we part ways, you bolstered your resume while here. So think about our warehouse crew. Some people weren't even editors. Now they can say they were just editors, and now they can say they directed a live broadcast, or they live switched to live broadcast, or they ran replay for a live broadcast, or they ran graphics, and they were in the truck, and they build sets. They did pre-production scouting. Like, that is when Andrew came as CEO a while back. He asked me, what's my major priority? And I said, to grow everybody and do different stuff. So I don't want someone to get hired here, work one job, leave, and then all they added to their resume was this job. And I guess that is startup culture or whatever. And because we interviewed people that work for like teams, and you know, they as editors, and I said, well, do you ever do audio? And they said, no. Do you ever film the stuff you edit? No. Are you ever on site during the filming? No. Do you ever edit this? No. Just this for 5 years. They've just allowed me to do this. And I'm like, they've pigeonholed you. That sucks. So I want people that want to take advantage of that opportunity, that want to come here with one skill set and leave. We've had people transition from socials to sales, from sales to something else. Like, we will work with you and let you grow where you want to grow and learn other tools. I still like really believe in that. So you don't just get stuck. And I think it's a perk. So I don't know. We just need people that want that and understand that that's it. And like half the company does and enjoys that and wants to move on. But we've got to a place where even myself, like, we lost that youthful, young, dumb ignorance, which you need to have. If you listen to any like artist interview, like a director or a musician, they're like, I was just so young, I didn't realize I shouldn't do it or I couldn't do it. I just did it. And that's what we were as a company for 2 years. That's why I've been telling Corny, like, we just need to just be like, take the risk and do it and just believe in ourselves and go. But even content, we had creators that were like, well, saying no to taking on more and stuff. And it's like, what? Yeah. Jake and I churn out 40 things every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to create more. Like, you have to want to do more. Oh, especially as a creator, you have to be everywhere all the time. That's a very, very, very competitive field. Mm-hmm. And the moment you just stop and stay still, someone's coming and taking you over. And the amount of people that we get that want to work here that, you know, want to do this shit. And the other thing is the creator team. I love them. I believe in all of them. And I try to tell them, like, we did not hire you to do the one show. We would have just contracted the one show. We hired you as a salaried in-house creator to grow and do a ton and use everything we have. So that message with that team has been received like awesomely. And they're having people that were like, yeah, just kind of stuck, just like you get in a rut, which I get. Like, it's hard.
Yeah. I think to your point of like dumb ignorance, it's just so evident in the aspects of this business that have already taken off to another level and opened people's eyes. And I just hope that everybody realizes that that's every channel. Like, my example is Warehouse Games. When we started that, we were recording on SD cards. Yeah. Zach was running the SD cards to dump and bring us new ones.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that was, a year and a half ago. Imagine JM Baseball in a year and a half. Like, we might be laughing at
where we are now.
Yeah. And that's every channel, every aspect of what we do. I want a year and a half later to look at it and laugh at how awesome we thought it was then.
Yeah. That's how quick it is. It's like, you look back at some of like I watch a Weekly Dumb from the Bronx office, and I can't even really watch it. It looks so bad.
No offense to Zach.
No, it's not Zach's fault. It's the cameras we were using were bad.
Yeah.
Like, my camera was a different frame rate than Jake's. My face was pudgy as shit and fat. That was just a personal thing.
Just personal, right.
And it was just not like, everything has just grown and got better. So everything that's not working or is slow. So there's also like, I need to be way more available for coaching and like helping out, especially content team. Everything I do is a lot of thought, be it right or wrong. Panic has leaned on me. Kenobi and Paxton have like already, like, I've helped them with videos and ideas and just like here, like, Panic had the football one. I mean, I think he got 4 million views in the first week on this football. It's his version of a breakdown of a guy that's tipping the play. But it was on a Friday. Usually no one's in the office Fridays. I'm coming in Fridays now. He was there. And he did 95% of the work, maybe 98. Like he gathered all the info. He had exactly what he wanted to say. The only thing I helped him with was the first 5 seconds. I said like, this isn't like, and I don't know how I presented it because he didn't fight at all. But I was like, your first 5 seconds have to be these words, and you're gold. You got him like hooked. And then I helped with just like simple effects. Like how I edit things, like blur, make sure they don't have to work hard to see what you're trying to show them in any way. And it did great. And his response was like, "I'm so hungry for more." That was such like that. It did 1.5 million on Instagram, did over 1 million on TikTok. I think it has 1 million on Twitter.
I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but I'm sure
like it
popped
just
off
did
everywhere.
Amazing. And you know, it wasn't even on his mind to like do videos like that. And that's kind of what we've been pushing for. Like, be active, give socials. Our social team is amazing, and they've built all these platforms. And we're a personality-led media company, and we need to give the social team personality-driven content. Otherwise, all they have is aggregate stuff and being on top of news and all of that. So that's kind of the vibe right now and the change. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited about the response we've seen from people that are in. And I, obviously, anyone that listens to this a ton, I get emotional all the time. And it's just like it's a weird when it hits me because like if I have to give like a talk in front of the office or everyone that like I'm genuine and very like is real, I practice in my head and here's what I'm going to say and here's what I'm going to say and here's what I'm going to say. And then I do it. And then I say it, and I hope that it's heard how I wanted it to be heard, and I communicated good. And then I have this weird release that always happens, and I just like cry. And I don't even know what the tears are about. It's just my body releasing adrenaline that I've been like stored up and now like exhausted. But also I had like 5 or 6 employees that I hadn't already like talked to reach out and message after giving the speech of like, we have to grow. Like we have to keep going. We have to work. I want people here that are going to work. If that's not your values, like we'll work with you on an exit plan. Come to me, come to HR, and we will like assist you and to be good. Not bad, but like we need people that want to grow this company. So when I gave that speech, we had a couple different people reach out that didn't need to hear it. And they're in, but they were like, that was badass. That was a wake-up call. I'm so glad you did that. I'm so fired up. Like, I'm so excited. I'm getting, like, chills now because we have people that, like, believe in it, and it blows my mind all the time. And it's like, that's why we've been able to do what we've been able to do. So they didn't need to hear it, but they love that I said it because they know other people need to hear it. I don't know. It just chokes me up when people believe in what we're doing. And it makes me feel terrible that like we let those people down that have been grinding and working. And they were like, thanks. Like, yes, people needed to hear that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been very unbalanced.
Yep. You had spoken to the unbalanced nature of it. I agree. I feel the same sentiments that you do. And I think that we're now taking the steps to correct that and get back on a spot where basically where everybody is striving to be the top performer, and everybody is striving to like put themselves in a place to match what they see at the top. I've said the example plenty of times, but like I admire Zach's editing through and through, and like that's when editing was like what I was doing day to day. That was my sole goal, was to like let me show this to Zach, and I want his face to go like wow. And when you get that feeling, it's just striving to be the
a lot of
top.
it's just caring like about what you're doing. Some jobs you don't have it. That's also what I say all the time in like a mean way. I worked a job where I worked from 9 to 5. I didn't work after the hours I was on clock, and I worked slower than what I could do, so I could build up a queue, so I could tell people, look how backed up I am. I know that game. I play that game. I played that game very well. We have people that will work here that won't do that because they want to get ahead and do other stuff. Like shout out, Dan Rourke has always asked for more. Always. Like he does everything and then he always asks for more. And we have a lot of employees that are like that. And then there's others, and it's gotten to the point where like the people that have been coming to us saying they are have too much work, they have the lightest loads. So it's an efficiency thing. So if it's not a self-built efficiency thing, like what I'm saying, like I played that game when I worked at jobs I didn't care about. Work slow, build up a queue, tell them you're backed up. It happens all the time. But if it's true, if you're really just like some people, we are desperate to like, how do I organize my day? How do I manage my day better so I'm not backed up? Like they genuinely need help. I'm really good at streamlining processes. That's why I'm fast at editing. Like, okay, well that's our fuck up. Like I will help you with that. And we've had some people who have just been asked to be micromanaged. Like that's something we need to offer. And we've gone up to them now and changed across all departments. Like Courtney had someone in her department. It's like, just help me get through this. Like I'm having a block. There's too much. And she would just every day, here's your 1, here's your 2, here's your 3. Get those 3 done. And like now they're crushing it. And they're like, I needed that. If you need that, we need to offer it. That's on the managers that we need to get better at. So I don't know. There's frustration. There's frustration that we allowed it to like get to this stalemateness, and no one respects deadlines or management. And that's not really on the employees because they haven't heard all of this. We haven't been on them. It's on us. But it's the first time the leaders are all getting together and be like, we need to change. Like we need to take this steering wheel or whatever and start driving this in a better direction. And like I said, there's already been just like initial combos. There's already been so much just like progress and people fired up and like, yeah, you're right. You're right. I wasn't like, every department I've had someone come and say, you're right. Besides socials, they never stop. They can't. It's crazy. But you're right. We got to get going again.
Yeah.
And it's not the financial part of the company. Courtney already fixed that. We're grooving. We're actually in a great spot to like keep moving forward, and we're hiring right now on the back end. It's just like vibe.
Yeah, vibe.
All right, so that's that.
I mean, it seems like you woke up a little bit, which is good.
Yeah.
So we've been going for like 30 minutes. I'm sure that interview's like 10. So let's just do another 10 minutes of some lighter stuff and some quick topics. You had alluded to it at the beginning of the show. You made and had a Julio Urias breakdown in the queue. Was going to be posted the day following when he was arrested, I think he is. So
yeah, that's the first one I think we had to like fully scrap. It wasn't Julio Urias. He was the pitcher in the breakdown.
Yes.
Eddie Rosario tried to steal home, like a sneaky steal of home, and Urias just stepped off and they got him out, and I thought it was funny. I'm trying to do more breakdowns that are just kind of like in the moment, quick hitters, not these long, giant lip reading ones, because those take me a long time and then the number gets smaller. Also, we had a lot of stuff going on with meetings and stuff. So, and it also came in September when my breakdown output for ads increases, and also in an effort to get through summer and increase revenue, I said just load me up, I'll do them. And now I'm like, hey, if we're good now and we're not like chasing giant more, like I need a breather. But I have so many. I had 5 last week. I think I have 4 this week, which I can do. But with DraftKings, you can only do I can only do professional sports. So like if I want to do college football or I wanted to do another sport, There's another one that I can't give him a certain one. DraftKings needs baseball ones. So, yeah, I was watching the Dodgers game, Braves game. Rosario tried to steal home. He got thrown out. I thought it was funny because he tried to steal home because he thought he should have scored on the ball hit right before, but Ron Washington held him up, and he gives the third base coach a look like, could have scored, and then he steals on the next pitch. So my narration or storytelling was like, he wanted to score. He's like, fuck this, I should have scored. I'm scoring. And then they just step off and throw him out, and he's like, no, you're not. But it was Julio Urias who just, and then it was scheduled to go at 11, and then on the one day, the night before it came out, he got suspended for domestic violence, and we were like, I don't think we can post that. It's just weird to post it, not address it. It would have taken up all of the comments, right? And it's just like, So I don't know if we're ever gonna post it. I don't know if there's a statute, but the day after the announcement. So that's a scramble. Then I think DraftKings worked with us on that one because I think we either, hey, can we? And then that's why the next week got booked as well.
Right?
Yeah. But that's the first time I think I have had a breakdown completely finished, polished, and now it won't go out.
Yeah, it's just sitting there privated. If that went out the day before or that day, would you have gone and then privated it? Or is it just...
No. I think it feels like you're jumping on the news when you post it after the headline comes out. And we didn't want... Yeah, we just didn't want that connection. It's just like, no, not worth it at all.
Yeah.
But that's the first time. I've had breakdowns where I've edited them for a long time, like 4 hours, trying to search for a story or like a way to tell this that's interesting and all that, and then been like, I don't think there's anything here, and not done it. But that happens not a decent amount, but it happens. I never had one where the voice narration was done, post edit was done, ad was approved by DraftKings, it was scheduled to go, and we took it out. But yeah.
The next thing that I wanted to hop to, because I feel like it's the most pressing, is just talking about Blitzball Blitz. When we do that live stream, what is your walking away reaction? Because when we were in that moment, everybody was kind of lingering afterwards. Mm-hmm. I felt like there was just this, oh shit, we just did that and there was no problems. And it felt very good, proud.
From a production standpoint, everyone came out of the truck and high-fived and celebrated, and there's certain issues we are aware of. Some we can't tackle right away. Others we need to fix. Like one camera was blinking. Mm-hmm. The replay camera is the only way we can have replay on multiple cameras is to make a quad box, and then we can zoom in on one of the quads. So you're getting a very low-res replay. To have high-quality multi-camera replays, you need to really invest in a very high-quality device. And that juice isn't worth the squeeze yet. I hope we get to the point where it is, and we can provide more angles and stuff.
But was there feedback what the heck? It's so low quality.
There was a couple comments. We've trained that audience with a pretty crisp production. So there's certain things that are less than. The replays are less than. We don't have angles on the there's 3 angles we don't have anymore. One on the fielder, and then we have 2 cross shooters that would get if the ball was hit into the corner, it would get that. But when you live switch to make sure you follow the ball, because it's unlike baseball where the ball's in the air and you have a giant field and you can
think.
You can zoom out wide and you have a little more seconds to think. That ball hits the back wall sometimes in 2 seconds. So Ronnie does camera 1. As soon as the pitcher gets to his delivery, it's camera 1, switch to camera 1. And then if the ball's put in play, Ronnie switches to camera 2.
Immediately.
Which is above the strike zone, and it's going to get the whole field of play, and you're going to see it. The other, in the edited versions, if they hit it to right field or left field, they'll switch to the crossing shots because they're a little better. But Ronnie can't tell if it's going to go to right or left, so he don't want to get that wrong, so you just go to camera 2. Watch it. Go back and watch it. Ronnie and Prizeman are so fucking good at camera switching. And the ball in play is just Ronnie because there's not even enough time for the director to be switch. So Ronnie just has to be on it. I asked him afterwards, said, did you get got on any? And he said, one. He switched thinking they were going to put it in play, and it ended up not being in play. But he never missed a ball in play. And we had some like rocket shots. It's very, very impressive. So yeah, there's some angles that are less, and some people notice that. But the biggest thing is the score bug. Doing that live, that's our first time doing that. And Mike DeLeon, who's the technical producer in all of this, made that work with our graphic.
Yeah, he programmed our graphic.
Yeah,
And
he used the program to build an app and then put the app into the back end. And Dre is doing like ball strike, but I saw what Dre is very simple. It's like almost just running a scoreboard. It's like just like strike one. That will now be something we do for all live shoots moving forward, because
all shoots.
Yeah,
take out the live part of that.
All shoots. Yeah. So all games, like when we do Blitzball Battle, we'll score bug it, because even like watching the live feed in the warehouse, we could see the score bug on the TV, and it was just as fast as the in-house score bug.
Yeah, with
the runners and shit. So like it almost takes away a job, maybe. You should probably always have two, but yeah, that saves so much time. That's a whole day, like, or half a day in post, when you have to watch the game back and pause it at every time and change in Premiere, because you can't do it as smooth as just hitting up, down, up. You have to pause it after each pitch, change it.
Yeah.
So that saves us a lot of time. It'll be interesting in sports that have a running clock. It's a whole nother technology that I don't know if we get. So that was a huge win. It was a huge win all around. I mean, the fact that we pulled it off.
Running clock gets weird, because then we do have the two people.
Yeah.
We'd have to they're never going to be in sync. Like, you'd have to get rid of one.
I am excited about, I'm not in the booth tomorrow. I'm not doing any play-by-play. Playing 2 games and watching 2 games, I'm going to have the roaming cam and be on comms for those 2 games. I enjoyed doing that. Back to my roots as a cameraman.
Nice. The roaming cam was Kenobio's
idea. Right? Yeah. It was like a wrestling thing. And we were going to have it for Billy's, but we weren't going to have it for a warehouse. Or we were just not going to add it day 1, but Mike got it done. Yeah. Go watch when balls are put in play and see how fast Ronnie is switching that. It's very good. It's very impressive. And the storytelling is good. Like, they're getting shots. They're switching to the batter coming to plate. Oh, switch to the crowd. Oh, switch to the announcers after this. The only thing we didn't do is we didn't record the isolated camera angles.
Yeah, the Dalton catch is what's missing.
So, like, Dalton made a catch in the outfield, and we only have replay on 4 cameras. And mostly we use cameras that aren't going to replay highlights. They're going to replay questionable calls. So we didn't record the cameras, the isolated feeds, and that limited our ability to make clips after the fact, because it'd be very cool after the fact to be like, here's the angle that we couldn't show you on the broadcast.
Yeah.
And they do that in sports. They'll like send the melt of alternate angles to ESPN and shit.
Yeah.
So I think we're doing that tomorrow.
Yeah, definite. That Dalton catch, I'm looking straight down at him. His body is just in such a weird position, and nobody will ever see it again.
We got good games.
It's cool.
But, I mean, that environment, 1-inning games with 4 walls you're going to get close games.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. Very, very proud. We've been practicing for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think if it keeps growing, if we do well, which we want it to, it is a long game, so it's not instant. But when we get to the point where we can invest in the better replays, then we are getting closer and closer to like the turnaround time not being 3 months. Because if you score bug it during, and you have the ability to show all the replays that you want, or good replays or ISO replays, you're getting to the point where all you do in post is graphics.
With Blitzball, there's the audio. We took out all the mics. So.
Yeah, audio is different. You're right. And then it gets different, because once you're doing that for Blitzball Battle with like the 4 audios, then you're kind of really have to do a lot. But yeah, it sucks. Once you put it in post, you just want to edit. It's hard to like start the post edit, but then do a light edit because you're like, well, I have all the camera angles and all the audio. Let's do it as best we can. But we need to find a way to make it like ball and play and floor ball that don't have the mic'd up players. We're very close to being able to.
Yeah, those are different. The floor ball caveat is that running clock, but I think Blitzball is. I think we just need to do the first sweep is graphics, audio, sweep it, do that, and then watch it. And is this good enough, or is there things that we have to change?
Yeah. What if we did for? This is crazy. You know when you watch like college sports that don't have professional systems and they just film the scoreboard and put it as a graphic? But what if for floorball we had a camera on the clock, and if there was a way for Mike to put that on screen with the score bug over it?
Yeah.
So in post, you would have the numbers there. We would just put nicer looking numbers over it, but you don't have to worry about syncing it, timing it. Does that make sense? Do you get what I'm saying?
No, for sure. I mean, we almost did that last floorball just to have the in-house because the where the scoreboard was positioned, the stands couldn't really see it. So we almost did that thing.
Because you could do it live for on the replays and stuff. But then even in post, the goals, the shots, all the other stuff on the score bug is there. All you're doing is creating a nicer countdown timer. And then you're just putting it on top of. And you would just like mess with the opacity to make sure you're on the same pause and stop.
Yeah, no.
Okay, remember that.
I remembered.
We have a bunch of fan interviews if you want to do like the quick hitter style again, or is there any other? We should just say that Jomboy Media Football is a go, and that's happening. And the buy-in we've had from those people is good, and it was a bit of a not misunderstanding, just getting everyone on the same page took a little bit, and right before the season started, we got everyone on the same page. Rose and Bobby are doing Football Today. Yep. Is that what it's called, even though it's twice a week?
Yeah.
They did a surprise episode. I'm really glad. Two guys that really want to do it. So we wanted to do football content, but a lot of the thought from a lot of our football creators is you need to get an ex-player or a personality or someone that covers national. We need to hire someone to do. And we were like, hey, this is the cement floor of our football coverage. Next year, we can hire creators or people to come in and go with it because like they wanted, talking baseball, we have Trevor Plouffe, a professional, a really lens to it. It's like, well, Talking Baseball existed, I think, for 9 months before Trev joined, and our baseball coverage in general existed for 3 years and was really building up. Like, build this ground floor. And Rose is a big name and big get, works for NFL Network. So they're in a good spot. I have told them I don't care about the views this year for this. I want them to be good. I want people to watch. I want to promote it. But, we just need to let people know, hey, we're going to be doing this, and it's not a half-assed effort. Socials is really pumped to grow the football socials, and the JM Football Instagram account. Did you see it the other day?
Are you speaking to, like, so many different faces?
No, but Kyle was really excited about that yesterday, that, and like I said at the top of the show, socials department, they're going to go build a platform and get followers and be on top of news and highlights and plays and the kind of like, we call it like aggregate stuff. It's up to the personalities to give personality-driven content. So I explained that to a lot of people here. Seems to be heard really well. If you scroll down the feeds, you have Jolly's face, you have Dalton's face, you have Canobio's face. I'm seeing Jake's face, I'm seeing Paxton's face, I'm seeing Rose's face, I'm seeing Bobby's face. So people are giving socials content that is personality driven, so there is a voice. It's very tough when you start a social media page and it's voiceless and has no persons. It's just highlights and updates, and then trying to interject people. Very hard to do that. But the numbers I'm talking about, like the numbers, like look at this: 453K, 742K, 420K, 491K. 147, 160, 250,000, 310,000. It's really good.
Yeah.
321, 303, and then Penix video got 1 point something million, 1.7 million on Instagram. So it's doing really well.
Awesome. The last thing in the topics to hit on was just you going to a Little League field and calling a game. What was that like?
Well, it's Scott's lawn stream, so it wasn't even a field. It was like this little plot of like nice grass that they turned into a wiffle ball field, and then it was 6 kids that all know each other. That they weren't like wiffle ball players, or some of them didn't even play baseball, and they're doing a whole lawn stream fest. I guess Mike, the situation, is a professional cornhole player now, and he's playing cornhole against a robot. And they have a YouTuber called I Make Stuff. Have you heard of them? They're coming to build a bird cage. So they're like, have this. You can go look at their live stream of the lawn. It's always on 24/7. I like to make stuff. Like if I go Scott's lawn stream on YouTube or scottslawnstream.com or scotts.lawnstream, something like that. Scott's out, yeah. But like right now, it's on the bird feeder. We just get some nice noises. Something happened. Oh, they switched. Background noise. Some animals come. So we were playing Wiffle Ball. They reached out to do like a deal with just me, as like a one-off, which. You know, a paid gig for me to come do play-by-play, and Katie maybe would have liked if I just took it, because I think I would get. I don't even know if we're allowed to do that as creators, like just do like solo stuff. I don't know our rules on that, but I sent it to the company, and then our sales team turned it into like a big deal where they're helping us with the Billies, where they did a bunch of other stuff. I think I'm going to post some of it on Things You Missed, so it's awesome. It's awesome to work with them. They were really cool. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but it was fun. I feel so bad when I go to those things because I'm not charismatic in person. I'm not going to fill a room with energy and noise. But luckily, I coached my brother's Little League team, or I wasn't like an actual coach on the team, but I was at every single practice helping coach Little League. So I know how to be around 11-year-old boys and kids. And I know how to entertain people in baseball, like wiffle ball. Like it's just passed down from my grandpa to my dad to me. I was like, here's a game.
Yeah.
And doing the warehouse, I was like helping with rules because I was like, we got to do a mercy. They scored 12 runs in the top of the first. Luckily, the team scored 9 in the bottom of the first. So, and then I was like, let's do a run limit the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Didn't hit. It was fun. It was really fun. It was a cool thing that came about. I think they have an agency working with them. And they found us, and then the fact that we were able to turn it into like, no, let's do this as a company. I hope they come to the event at Billy's. I told them, like, kids can come. It's not just 21. They were, really? The kids were awesome. And the parents were cool. It was fun.
Cool. I feel like
I had to keep score, and it was very hard. I was like writing the score.
Yeah.
It was like 12-0 home. I was trying to make it so like that's his 4th home run of the game. But I was like, I had one pen and one paper.
Yeah. I feel like these questions, let's save them for the next episode. I've listed all the questions from the last episode we had with Courtney, so the next one we'll hit on all those. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments of this episode, and we'll add those in as well.
Quick hitters from the creator we'll do next episode? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. I talked for too long?
Well, it was all good combo, but, you know.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.